still, even in him, honestly, it is mysterious.
Yes.
So, two things. One, as a human being, that specific existence, what the beneficial aspects of that existence is. Two, as far as other human beings are concerned, okay, one thing you can tell, okay, this person is so peaceful, so integrated, and he is in samadhi for 23 hours. Would you like to have a life for your son like that, or your best friend like that, or anybody like that? It doesn't translate in my head, okay? Okay, next is, what is the beneficial aspects of such an individual? That is a subject-special function. If you feel a mystery that is unfolded in that particular individual because he lives 23 hours in samadhi, what I'm saying is you can imagine anything. By seeing a small child doing something that is so spectacular, you can imagine that that person may be a master in the past but you can think in that way. Doesn't matter. But imagination can...
but imagination is one thing, but you told me about this organic kind of connection. When you meet somebody, I met it.
I'm trying to say SSFR means it is impossible that can only happen to Eugene. Nature will never do something like that.
So we agree.
Problem.
Why to limit it to one person?
I did not say any limitation. What it happened is, it is because of my... It is not that I wanted to focus. The focus landed in me. And it happened in such a way...
That's okay.
Yeah,
but retrospectively, like now.
But I don't perceive any...
Specific.
The mystery is always a mystery. If I see a person, it's a mystery to me too. But it doesn't do anything to me. You know what I mean? But I don't feel a need to go there. If somebody has a connection, they might come.
I respect
they
that
might
you don't
come.
have the need.
What I'm saying is that I don't need as a
you feel
specimen.
complete with that, yes.
I'm complete in the sense that I don't feel any need. If somebody said that was the last person, that never that Yuji will be there, yes, never there will be another Yuji.
Of course,
sure.
That's a very specific.
But never will be a person like you too.
Yeah, that's
in
what I mean.
In the history of biology,
so
never
it's
will
not
be
the
another
point
person.
in your
That is not the point.
Yeah.
What I felt about Yuji and the phenomenon that occurs.
That's the love.
That is not going to happen.
That's the love. Then we are.
Whatever it is. Suppose the way when I was growing up with my father, the thing that I felt, that will never happen. I passed that life. I've gone that life. Now that's done. You know. How much I need my father now? I don't. How much do I need my father who is dead? That doesn't mean that in my memory that interaction with my father is gone. It is always loving, it is always beautiful. But do I need Eugene? No, zero.
But that connection is still there.
The connection is in my memory. So what I am here telling, physiologically, a system of life and living cannot create a vacuum like that. It is impossible. So there is not one person that will be there and never that, but the life, if that person's individual influence is required to be there with the other person, there will be another person who will be born like that. It is a must, nice. If that is a necessity.
Nice to see it like that, globally, and as
because,
a natural necessity. I like that.
Because without that, how can I bring energy to you? I can give you the story, that will not touch you.
So, it's not just like physical reality that matters. Mm-hmm. It is also the trace that leaves the ones who have been put
the physical matter is what I am saying is that it is this physical matter that is going on inside our brain is what is producing this kind of sensation. So you and your life and your brain is the primary motivating factor, and its existence and its resonance is the most important thing as far as I am concerned.
Okay, I understand that.
So, whatever you are finding an object,
the projection and the
object that stimulates it is your SSFR, your subject-specific functional reality. So, your functional reality is a very unique functional reality, and that is capable of projecting your imaginative faculty in a way that it can give a kind of different feeling to you. So
Because that's the only way I can experiment Yuji
Exactly.
through you. If I didn't use that, how can I connect with Yuji through
yeah.
you? It's
So
impossible.
So that is another question of
That's inference,
that is-
Brahmana
that-
again.
Yes, yes, that is inference in it. So, for example, there was a school of thought, and also it occurred to me that if I did not study J. Krishnamurti that deeply and focused on the subjects of thought conditioning,
Mechanism of thought.
thought conditioning, and the radical transformation that is required for an individual to bloom into a most innate natural state of existence. If I wouldn't have studied J. Krishnamurti so deeply and tried to understand so deeply, probably I wouldn't be gravitated and attracted towards his writing that much. So there is a school of thinking also, and at certain point I agreed for my understanding of what was going on and the matter of discussion that was going on with Yuji. It was very important of the J. Krishnamurti's the
Background.
subject of thought, thinking, radical transformation, choiceless awareness, and the connection between thought, thinker, and the object of thought. So all these dynamics. It was important at certain point, but then it came another stage. So if we are all connected in that way, was my 4 years of meditation. If I wouldn't have done that, would I have experienced
No.
the love that
No.
So what I can say is that I don't know. That is how it happened. That need not necessarily has to happen step by step to anybody.
Of course. I understand.
So, but if somebody asks me that, suppose if you go back to your situation, if suppose there is a chance of your making a decision, if you would have met Yuji, would you still do the meditation? I said to myself, I wouldn't have tried anything if I would have met Yuji.
But
Because
who would you have clicked at that moment with?
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. No, I wouldn't know. For him, it was very different. For him, I felt that what he did with me was the most accurate thing that I needed at that time. The most important, and because his denial was actually what was required at that time for me. Because
Deconstruction, yeah.
the only because of my suspension and not hanging on to some ideas, I felt that the object of meditation that I learned was already happening in me. Then I realized that this was happening in me in spite of my not practicing. Okay?
Formally practicing. But you were
Formally,
practicing
I already
attention.
practiced
Pure
earlier.
attention, but in your life.
The pure
Attention to life.
The attention happened in a different way. My attention was not choicelessly aware of everything. I was completely helpless to gravitate towards him. You know, it was not like, you can call it love, but it was not the love that I knew about my girlfriend
Definition
or-
again.
or
What is
my
love? Bhakti.
children.
Let's call it
Yeah.
prem or bhakti.
So, bhakti was also kind of.
You didn't feel like a bhakta, you mean?
I mean, no, you can call bhakti and love has no difference. So, I don't see bhakti and love has any difference.
Same.
It's the same thing, but the expression of it may be very different. Some people are very reserved; they don't show, and some other people they show more than what they feel. You know, so exhibitionism is very different from different people. So if there is something utterly helplessness that arises within you that creates a gush of good feelings and tremendous affinity for a person again and again and again, and only that I can call is probably something that will not happen as like it never happened, no matter what conflicting ideas we had between us when we were trying to look at the discussion. Whenever I saw him, this gush of good feelings, niceness, and they had, that was like an unmistakable, you know. So that I knew that in spite of all my understanding and not understanding, this was an organic thing that was going on.
No, we
So
can
to
discuss on
me,
that further.
it was answered very simply. The one effect is ephemeral, okay? But if the effect is just an effect of a different cause, like why I am feeling this, if it is unknown, then I cannot recreate it again and again. Okay?
It's not self-made, yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah.
So there is a deep and powerful, a causal effect was going on. And after some time, it had its rhythm. In a sense that I started beginning that kind of waves in my consciousness and was doing something in me.
Yes, yes.
And of course, he was there in the primary objective,
Impulse, yeah.
in the objective field, but he was not present.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So, and my mind wouldn't think anything other than, like, it's only gravitated towards him, you know. So I felt that this is not just ephemeral. It is a cause which is triggering some mechanism, which is like you have accelerated your engine in a space, and in the beginning when you accelerate there is a lot of physical effect.
Yes,
all the time.
headache
and
and
then
side effects.
you are moving
Yeah.
very fast. So what happened is, it was a result of a very different kind of movement that taken place, like a different set of physiological change. I wouldn't even call journey. I would call a process that is taking the system to a different kind of end, like when you become a small zygote has become a complete form of human body. And for me, it was, I'm not comparing myself with anybody. You know,
Yeah.
if somebody says that they got
Sure.
something
We don't
so
need to get into that.
magnificent,
Sure.
something they got so magnificent by being with nobody, okay, and somebody says by being with so many people. It's not a matter of
Of course,
comparison.
that's-
What I'm saying is that such kind of comparison didn't exist for me. It was not I who was doing. It was the whole process took over me and didn't allow me to have anything in my brain that I can even focus.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I'm interested by your story, because it's different. I want to
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
why
so,
it's like that. And
So what I now, if somebody asks me that do you need to be, I mean, it is like a life for me. I don't want to disregard anybody. It's like there is a process that is occurred at a given time by space, time and individuals presence, and it started something
obviously,
irreversibly within me, and the people who were present and the people that took the journey with me,
Yeah.
it's just unique.
Yeah, it is.
Set. So I cannot say that this is the only thing, all others are fake. I cannot say that this is the only way it can happen. All I can say is that to my mind there was no alternative. To my mind means I could not create an alternative. It is all happened this way, and I have no reason to justify it. I have no reason to say that there are possibilities of better things.
Individual.
Why I then even talk to people? You see, if it is unique and that is one done, I should mum.
Yeah, I think we agree on the word. The other question for me to try to understand the context around Eugene Palm Spring, because in the night, that's why I'm tired today, because I go in Palm Spring the whole night. So were there other people, I think so, but I'm not sure, who were feeling in that, like Julie, for example, that kind of magnetic lack of...
Everybody around Eugene were hardcore seeking. Okay? And they were seeking something, the fact that they were going towards every summer to go to Krishnamurti to learn things, everybody is kind of a seeker. But the thing is that, and they were all affected by you.
Yes.
So to me, I took that as an universal thing. Universal thing means just the way the disease can spread, there is a generalized well-being if a system is functioning very orderly, and another system who is feeling the pressure of certain non-functioning or disorder in a system, the system will always look for solution. And in the presence of such an orderly state,
it creates harmony around him, like irrespective of the difference.
Yes, it creates an harmony, and this harmony is something that is, to me, is addressing the general organic well-being of the system.
Agree. Yes.
So it is not at the end of the day what I take in my head as an inference.
It's more like a vibration.
It's like what makes me arduous, what gives me this kind of energy without inhaling one substance. What is the force that completely taken me over and continuously generates that kind of energy within myself? So there is something triggered, and because of that triggering, I can talk like this day in, day out, every day with anybody.
I can see.
Unknown person, absolutely never has seen anything, because it is that person's interest immediately triggered. So it is like whenever I used to explain UG, the beauty, my research field was superconductivity. So this
super interesting.
Yeah.
Very actual. No, but I'm serious. This is the thing now.
So when I explained to him the superconductivity, he was ecstatic.
Yeah.
Because I said that it is not just a superlative state. Superlative state means you are good, somebody is better. You are very brilliant, somebody is even more brilliant, and somebody is not so brilliant. So resistance in any substance is this kind of superlative measurements, like copper, gold, iron, stainless steel, wood, how much electricity will flow to it. So it is relative. But superconductivity is an exotic state. It is no comparison. It is not a...
So you would qualify UG as a superconductor?
No. What I was trying... So, it followed in a different way. So what is this superconductivity means? The superconductivity is... What is the beauty of the superconductor? The beauty of the superconductor is not no resistance. The beauty of the superconductor is, because of its non-existing resistance, you can pump as much of electricity as you want and it will flow. What he liked is that, so I said there could be, see, we are nothing but energy, okay? How nature talks to us, how this light, the air, water makes trigger things, you see? So the nature resonates with us. What is resonation? Resonation is flowing of energy. So if you are a very good conductor, higher amount of energy will flow. That's it.
Yes.
And you are a poor conductor, lower energy will flow. But superconductivity is an exotic state. In that exotic state, whatever energy is required for a particular situation to flow through an individual, nature will supply. If it is immense energy, nature will supply the immense energy. If no energy is required, very little energy will flow. So, but when I told, even in that exotic state, there is another beautiful thing. He said, what is that? I said, there is something called superconducting proximity effect.
Okay. That we're getting close to that. Okay, develop. Hey, are you writing all this? You guys need to write a book about it.
So superconducting proximity effect is a very unique phenomenon, you know. It can temporarily produce that exotic effect
in another
material, another conductor.
Communion.
So, but it cannot exist until it satisfies the complete parameters of being a superconductor. So
Okay.
it exists only in proximity of a superconductor.
Okay.
The exotic state is ephemeral and temporary.
Of the other.
Of the proximity effect. Of the other. So the main source, when it goes away,
That's why.
but
And
when
what
I
about
explain
UG
the
with
beauty,
JK? UG and JK, you think similar? Maybe.
no,
or-
so I was. You will see that story in that book. You know.
Okay, okay. Really? Okay. The Mother of God. You mean in the Mother of God or in Palm
No,
Springs?
in Palm
Oh,
Springs.
okay, okay.
This story is very funny. It is, so in my head, see, this story has a different context. I'm free telling you this story because
But
I
thank
was
you. It's
doing
precious.
meditation.
It's really precious.
Yeah, I was doing meditation. So in my meditation, I had a vivid, what I call is vision. Vision is something that is different in
Yeah,
slight
from imagination and
quality
dream. Yeah,
of
yeah.
dreaming.
Sure. Yeah.
In vision, what happened? It is almost like a daydreaming.
Yes.
Daydreaming, vision is like a daydreaming, but there is an unintentional happening. Unintentional happening means intention could be the trigger of a primitive cause, but during the process there was no intention, not any perception of any intention. So what happened is that I started meditating, and I used to go into that non-remembrance gap longer and longer, you know, like out. My head will touch the ground,
Nice.
you know, like complete out and about, no remembrance of any kind. But then also
In only 4 years of practice, that's pretty good.
yeah, I started getting into that kind of thing within few months,
Very nice.
you know.
Good prarabdha.
That's what they say. Yes, it's a very word that they use. So what happened is that
The vision.
the vision. So I completely, that was my first out of body experience. You know, out of body
I
experience.
know very well.
Yeah, I was just going through a different space and time. I'm fully awake, and it happened I was holding a pen. Okay, so what happened? I finished my meditation about 45-50 minutes, and one of the purport of the meditational practice was every day after the meditation I will take a pen and paper and write any special features that I can remember as just as a cataloging. That gives a kind of seriousness of the practice.
Like a protocol,
Yeah, it's like a seriousness. Like every day, if you get up in a particular time, if you take shower, clean everything, go to a particular place, this place is nice, you are automatically, it is like you eat every day 10 o'clock, your body is going to be ready. So every day 10 o'clock, you take shower, you do some mantra, japa, tapa. When you sit to eat, you are ready to eat.
Correct.
Or the office going. Morning you take shower, you shave yourself.
The little rituals of the daily
these
life.
things. Now you are ready to go to meeting.
Conditioning our consciousness through rituals.
So like that, so used to write it. I mean, see, I always observed all these things in me. The way the system prepares itself. Because in hunger case, your body already started preparing your hungerness. Your tongue will be juice, all will be releasing in the right time. Just like the dog,
The life force, as you say.
Life. So I used to meditate at 2 o'clock.
Nice, wow. Even before Brahma Murdaha.
Because I was told that's the best hour of meditation in the lineage. So, and I did myself what they used to say, a true yogi will definitely get up at 2 o'clock. They say that.
But that's good.
So I said it's like Napoleon, I have to cut my...
They told me at 4, so I was okay.
I want to create my own fat line, So I put alarm and get up at 2 o'clock.
That's nice. But it's good discipline.
I mean, I was interested. Basically, I was so super interested. So I meditated. I took a pen and paper. I was thinking of what I felt, and suddenly my hand started shaking.
Oh.
Okay, and something involuntary was taking place, and it was like bizarre. I became an bodiless kind of a witness.
Yeah.
Something grabbed me and took me out and started moving in this space.
Wow.
I was going.
Far up or how?
Up, very high up. And I did not see anything for some time. Then I realized that I'm traveling. And then I saw that the earth begin to appear again. Okay? And I just landing there, going to the landscape. And it is all happening in fraction of a second. I couldn't breathe. The excitement was so much. I'm seeing things so vividly. I saw it remind me of very ancient landscape in India.
Yes.
And I was moving. And then suddenly I stopped like a hummingbird in front of a meditative yogi.
Oh, yes, I get
it. Just completely in a place, you are just in complete meditation and eyes closed. So I circumambulated 2-3 times and then flew off from there. Okay? And then flying. Suddenly I came to a river, and I crossed that river. And from that river I saw a small hut. And I landed in front of that hut. And I was still flying. And I saw some amazing thing. Just a woman, beautiful looking woman. With breast covered with a piece of cloth only. And one side is up, one breast is seeing, and that breast is being fed by a boy,
Nursing.
small boy nursing,
With a crown.
and with a crown and jewel. Oh, I looked at it. It's
Amazing,
stunning.
amazing vision.
It's stunning. I just closely saw, and then I started coming back, and coming back. And by the time I came, I was tracing back the same road, and the same yogi I saw, and he woke up, and he looked at me, and he spoke, but the word that coming out of his mouth is like Akashvani, from with powerful reverberating voice, This boy is going to change the world.
Wow.
The boy.
The yogi is telling me.
Telling you. You're the
Yeah.
boy.
No,
I don't
he
know.
He doesn't know that. It's just an announcement.
It's the announcement.
He heard.
So I came back and I don't know what to write. My hand was shaking. I didn't know this kind of thing is possible for a human being. That's the first time.
You had an actual experience, like of expansion
Actually,
of consciousness.
I mean,
through
like
this.
completely, I mean, vividly seeing them. I didn't even know that in waking state, I'm holding the
Yeah,
pen.
that's the second stage. Yes, is waking state.
I mean, waking state, seeing these things so vividly
Yeah.
is. They call this in spiritual.
Yeah.
I had a vision.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know. I was a scientist. I didn't know this is possible for human
That should have
brain.
been an amazement that you.
Amazement me, you can't even imagine. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep. I mean, 2 days I was just walking with my hair straight, eyes big. It's just like something happened. I said, what?
It just happened fraction of a second.
Fraction of a second.
Experience.
Just one fill. It's like
Did you have like
seeing the movie in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. Time distortion also. Yeah.
I didn't know the time because I didn't know what time, what. I just closed my book. I was just moving like a vagabond for some time. Then my brain triggered into action. What is it? Who are those characters? Who are those characters?
That was before meeting Yuji. That
way
experience.
before meeting you.
Like during the meditation process.
During
At the beginning of these 4 years or like middle way?
Yeah, no, just after a few months after I started the meditation. And because that plunged me into meditation.
Of course, after you're more dedicated even to it.
Full, completely. Any waking hours is my meditative hours. Anything when I'm not working, I go into meditative state. So
that was a good preparation. How can you say this doesn't help to connect with Yuji? Come on.
Don't know. But, no, listen. This is
You were fully cooked.
No.
So you're ready.
No, I told myself, who are this character? So immediately my mind found a connection. The connection was the mission that I was practicing in meditation. I was completely convinced and I was very honest and integrated in a sense that I want to believe and try what they are telling, otherwise there is no effect.
Of course. Yeah.
What's the
To
point
try,
in, because JK said you have to do something and I accepted that I will do something, and I found those guys are doing Raja Yoga and I have been doing Raja Yoga, but I have no formal training of Raja Yoga, means I have not taken any initiation. So I took the initiation and started very seriously practicing meditation. So, and I believe that when I practice meditation and I go into these things, the master's transmission works and all these things, and I believe this. And I thought that this must be one of the reasons that I had that meditation. So, what this character? So, there were two, this is funny thing, there were two Ramachandra.
Yes, one
the
is the
mission.
disciple and one was the originator.
Origin of Rama. His name is Ramachandra, and the guy
The
who
other one, the one on the picture
is also
yeah,
Ramachandra.
Yeah.
Okay, and he started the mission in his guru's name, so it became Ramachandra mission. But he is not. It is not in his name. His name happened to be the same.
Yeah, he wanted to honor his guru.
So I thought these two must be big Ramachandra, small Ramachandra. I thought so. So
Because there were two, you thought that they
Two
were
Ramachandra,
related.
the Guru
They
and
could have
disciple.
been called Krishnamurtis also then. Or something.
Yeah,
That is my
wait.
discovery later. You know, that's exactly what happened in Palm Springs. So, in about like 9th or 10th day, something like that, I was happily moving with, we invited some people for lunch and all these things. And I had a lot of time spent with Yuji. And you know, so one day I was walking up and down, my head was on fire. Suddenly, it's like the whole of my, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. It came back and it clicked with the situation.
It clicked with the situation. It came back exactly the way, except that now it is a eureka. Because I discovered Yuji as a real phenomenon. Like my mind, there was nothing. He's just creating a raging fire inside my body. So it. This is no doubt. This is the guy. This is the guy. Maybe my life was waiting for such a meeting. You know. So and this dream made sense. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know that sage who was sitting there
JK.
is JK, and this little boy is Yuji Krishnamurti. I completely agreed and
You came to talk to him about it?
yeah.
Well, okay, then what was
So all the people were there. All the whole gang was sitting there. And Tanuja,
Yeah.
Julie,
Yeah.
Mahesh, Larry Morris, Susan. I mean, the whole horde of people. And there was another guy who also was always preaching about John the Baptist and Jesus is like Krishnamurti and
Yes,
Yuji.
yes.
Because without John the Baptist going around and telling that he is coming, people wouldn't have believed that Jesus is the coming, you know. So according to that guy, John the Baptist is J. Krishnamurti. He's been talking about the radical transformation and
Yes.
natural state and all this
Putting
thing.
the-
And the whole thing was prepared for Yuji to come.
Nice.
You know, that's the way they explain.
Similar to this.
So that's now I found, because that is also a story. So all this story, objective story. So I told Yuji, something really happened right now. I had gone through I completely revisited one of my visions. And Yuji said, "You had even visions?" Yeah. Because I didn't tell about my speech. Ever since he discarded all his spiritual experiences, I never opened my mouth about the speech. So I said, "But this one you have to hear. This involves you."
Nice.
So he said, "Okay." So everybody was there and I narrated the whole story. And then Yuji looked at me, but the conclusion of the story was very, funny. Funny is that Yuji said, "You might have had the vision, but your explanation is wrong." Okay, it's okay. You are the boy.
The boy is you.
I said, "How can the boy change my life?" No, he says, the vision was this boy is going to change the world. The world is always my world, no? What is world? World is always one's world. When I am I am the vision. So I thought it's my world. So anyway, that ended there, and we never talked about it. But the thing is that one day I told Yuji that I experienced something else, very strange experience.
At the time of the meditation year or after?
No.
Within you,
After.
with Yuji?
With Yuji, I started
Yeah.
going through this
Yeah.
so vividly. I didn't know what is real, what is imagination created in our head, So he said, one day I was just telling, why is that when I come to you, I feel like I don't feel like thinking. I am just completely headless. I feel like I'm sleeping all the time, sleeping away, just relax. Why is that? He said, you are sleeping? You are more awake than all the so-called awakened people that they are claiming.
That's nice.
Okay, you have a way to shut me up, I know.
Yes, yes. That was happening in the car with Julie driving when you took.
So, so because what happened is that he used to give me some work, and during that work, something will go on in my body, is like just used to just funny, you know. So, and later I came to know from Chandrasekhar's diary that his inquiry about me made them believe that he is keeping a very close attention on me, even when he was in
What
Bangalore.
was this kind of?